Panthers-Falcons. We mentioned, I don't think the weather. I think the wind is going to be fine, and the rain's the issue in the southeast. I'm in Charlotte, by the way, but I'm ready to, 8 inches, 10 inches of rain. I don't know when.
You're not leaving, are you? There's no reason for you to leave.
No, it's going to move slow by the time it gets here. I mean, we're going to get dumped on with rain, but the winds are going to be okay. Now, floods can still cause issues with lots of stuff, including electric. So we've got to be careful. But
so next week you're going to be in your bathing suit, so trying to swim around your den there, right?
It's funny. I have a pool, and I looked the other day. I go, how do I drain? It's new. I got to drain water out of the pool.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to overflow into my house.
Sorry, Mr. Rich Guy with your pool. You have some problems.
I know. And first world problems, totally. All right. So Falcons, Panthers, 44.5 over under. Falcons are favored by 5.5. Lots of injuries here. Carolina loses. Greg Olson's out they said they're going to evaluate him month to month. Right tackle Darrell Williams might be a worse injury. He came back from a preseason knee injury, injured the knee again in a different place, probably going to have surgery. Trey Turner, their Pro Bowl guard, didn't practice Wednesday due to a concussion. Hopefully that's okay, because if he's out, this is a whole big mess. Falcons lose guys from their defense. In addition to Devontae Freeman sitting out with the knee injury he suffered last week that he said wasn't a problem, which we'll see about that. Safety Keanu Neal out for the season with a torn ACL. Linebacker Deion Jones, who's a quick guy. Deion Jones is the type of guy, he's one of those smaller linebackers, sort of a hybrid, and he would have been perfect. They let those linebackers cover backs. So Christian McCaffrey now has some room to run here. Look, these teams are both struggling with injuries, but the defensive injuries for the Falcons really kind of have me worried.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're going to be okay in the secondary. I like their cornerbacks. I think the linebacker. Now you look at the depth chart on ourlads.com, and it's Foyesade Oluokun as a middle linebacker, 6th round pick pick for this past year. Now he's going to be the starting middle linebacker. Oof, that's a potential problem there. I don't, losing Jones and Neal, those guys are 2 Pro Bowl defensive players. Those guys are good players. They anchor that defense. It's going to be tough for Atlanta to overcome that. They're going to have to really rely on that offense to score a lot of points. And what they showed last week against the Eagles, they didn't score a lot of points against the Eagles. So it kind of begs the question about, well, how much now are you going to dump on Matt Ryan for losing 2 guys on the other side of the ball? You're going to have to count on him more. And like you showed last week, I'm not sure that's a great thing.
So what did you think of Matt Ryan? Obviously, we didn't think much of Matt Ryan, but the reaction was some people saying just a bad game and others saying, wow, he's just not good anymore and he can't throw, and why he's declining. What do you think? Yeah,
he didn't – he's the kind of quarterback who's going to throw in a bunch of bad games in a year. Not a bunch, but, he's going to throw in some bad games. He's not as consistent as he wanted to be for a first-round pick. Where was he? Was he number – what number overall was he?
He was 2 overall.
He was 2, right. Mm-hmm. So you'd like to have a little more consistency out of him from that. The thing that I think was a little concerning was that his ball didn't look as fast. He didn't – he was
right.
He was looping his balls. His technique looked off. I think now we're like – maybe this wasn't just a typical Matt Ryan crappy game you're going to get 4 times a year, but maybe there is something wrong with it. Maybe he has gotten old overnight. And if that's the case, oof, that's a real struggle for the Falcons.
That would be.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. What did you see out of him? What did you think?
I thought the same as you, that some throws were, lollipops. You know what I mean? That he was trying to throw deep outs and you went, wow, it's taken the ball a really long time to get there. I don't know if it was a bad night. I think I want to see more. I also think he's still probably good enough. I don't know. I just have a hard time believing all of a sudden he's declining that rapidly. So
doesn't usually happen quite that fast. No,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't usually happen quite that fast where it's from one year to the next. It's a totally different player. So I'm inclined to agree with you where it probably was just a bad night. First game of the year, had a little less preparation than the rest of the league having to play on Thursday. But now you got 10 days to recover after that Thursday night game. Let's see what he can do this week. And if he struggles again when he's throwing kind of like you said, those lollipops, and he doesn't have that arm strength we're accustomed to, then maybe there's a chance that we're going to need to worry about this a little bit.
All right. I like the under here based on the way both offenses and defenses played last week, even with the injuries. I also, with the point, I think it's too many points. I'm going to go with the Panthers. What about you?
Yeah, no, I have Atlanta going over Carolina straight up, but I have the Panthers at +5.5.
Yep. All right. And
and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Panthers win that game. I mean, that's
me neither. on Pick Watch, 75% of the experts going with the Panthers. Now, remember, it's Thursday morning, so all the picks aren't in. There's a lot of no picks going on here so far. So just, take that in mind. You've got the early picks here, not the final picks.